Hello, my name is Altai Ozkon. I attended the Bronx High School of Science and ended with a 1510 on the SAT that allowed me to attend the prestigious Northeastern University, where I studied biology with a minor in music technology. I love to tutor kids on the topics that I studied in undergrad, specifically the sciences, mathematics, to try and help the people of the world. Today, I'll be teaching about neurons, neurological disorders, specifically Parkinson's disease, and future research and ambitious methods we can use to actually treat its symptoms. So Parkinson's disease, first and foremost, is a neurological disease where dopamine is inhibited. So dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is released into the synapse. If you don't know what a synapse is, I will quickly draw that out here. Here is a quick presynaptic neuron. So presynaptic means it is the first neuron, or it is the neuron that is before the synapse. The synapse is this gap right here, and we'll draw a postsynaptic neuron right here. That means it is after the synapse. So if you don't know what neurotransmitters are, they're just small chemical messengers that are released by the presynaptic neuron that go into the synapse to create reactions, bodily reactions, or tell the postsynaptic neuron about how to deliver an action potential. An action potential is just the method that neurons use to communicate with each other, right? So dopamine, let's say, goes into the synapse. And dopamine is mainly characterized with controlling motivation and reward. The problem is having too much dopamine will cause aggression and violent tendencies, but having too little will cause problems with movement because the dopamine is characterized with controlling movement. So the research methods we will talk about today is regarding a very specific protein called alpha-synuclein. So alpha-synuclein is a protein that is found in the gut of pretty much every human, every organism, right? And it is mainly used for inhibiting dopamine. So the goal, or the actual, how do I put this? The actual need for alpha-synuclein is still debated within the scientific community, but most people agree that it is used for inhibiting dopamine, right? So let's draw a little monomer of alpha-synuclein here. Monomer is just basically the first, most basic layer, right? And this specific protein, alpha-synuclein, has an unfortunate tendency to aggregate. Aggregate means it just clumps together and forms solids when you don't actually want it to, right? And the way this happens is because of polyunsaturated fats, or PUFAs. So PUFAs are critical for every human. Omega-3s, omega-6s, they're good for the heart. You eat them in your diet. They're critical for organ function, yes, but having too much of it can actually cause the clumping up of this protein, alpha-synuclein, as I drew here. That will eventually lead into layers of this protein. We will call them fibrils. And then this causes big clumps in the gut that actually end up traveling to the brain through the gut-brain, I guess, tract or axis. The brain-gut axis, that's what it's called. But yes, it can travel through to the brain, and because alpha-synuclein's role is to inhibit dopamine, having too much of it in the brain leads to diseases like Parkinson's disease, which are characterized by not having enough dopamine, not having control over your movements, is what causes the tremors. So, one method that scientists have actually used to try and prevent the clumping of alpha-synuclein is by using probiotics. Now, probiotics are just bacterium that live in your gut, and they're very good for you. They help you digest food, they help you absorb food, but you can actually use them to digest the polyunsaturated fats that cause the clumping of alpha-synuclein. So we can use that as a model treatment in other mammals, possibly in the future, like rats. We can use mice models, and possibly even human trials one day to see if it actually treats the symptoms for Parkinson's disease. So that was just a short little lesson on Parkinson's disease, dopamine, and possible ways we can actually cure it, hopefully in the future. Maybe not cure, but definitely treat the symptoms for it.